close your eyes. Go ahead, close them. Now, imagine this is all you've been able to see. You wake up every morning and you see nothing but darkness. Now, open your eyes. And now I want you to pretend like you can't hear. You can't hear the sound of your mother's voice. You can't hear the sound of the dogs barking when you walk across the street. You can't even hear the sound of this conversation that your siblings are having right next to you. Now, imagine that both are true. You've never heard the sound of somebody else speak, and you've never seen their smile. This was true for Helen Keller since she was 2 years old. Helen Keller deserves praise because of her courage and because of the way that she overcame the obstacles that were placed in her life. Helen Keller exceeded all expectations that anyone had for her. Even though she was blind, she was deaf, and she couldn't speak, she overcame those. She learned how to read Braille. She learned how to speak in sign language. And eventually she even learned how to speak. With the help of her instructor, she learned that you can use the vibrations in your neck, and she mimicked those vibrations with her own voice. And eventually, after a lot of practice and a lot of hard work, she was finally able to speak herself. Now you would think all of these things, like, wow, she did all those things. But not only did she overcome those, she also wrote her own book. She wrote a book called The Story of My Life. And in the book, she tells you about all of the adversity she had, all of her trials, and how she overcame those, and how she got to the point where she could write a book, and she could read, and she could write. She also stood up for what she believed in. She believed in women's rights, and she stood up for that. Now, when you go through something, or when life places something in your way, I want you to remember Helen Keller and the way that she faced all of her trials, and the way that she overcame them. Being blind, deaf, and mute, she learned how to read, write, and talk.